Hi, it's Tatiana, and this is the video games that narcissists play, love bombing. As I say in the beginning of all my videos, I wanted to say that I'm not a doctor, and these videos are part of my coping strategy, and they are very helpful for me, so thank you for listening. And also, it is my hope that taking my pain and sharing it will validate you if you think that you may be in an abusive or narcissistic relationship. Listen to my stories and my examples and see if that's something that you are going through so that you can validate yourself. I know that when I was in abusive relationships, I didn't have anyone to talk to, and this would have been helpful for me. So that is my hope, that this is helpful for you. Regarding love bombing, it is the first game, I think, that narcissists and abusive people play. And love bombing is your relationship moving quickly. It is full of love and hope and excitement, and you feel like you have just met the perfect match for you. And the reason we call it love bombing is because you are so in love, and it isn't until later that the bomb drops. At least that's how I see the term love bombing. Later on, the bomb does drop, and you do start to reveal who that person is. So usually love bombing is part of the 3 first steps of an abusive relationship. I'm going to love bomb her. She's going to feel so, or he is going to feel like he is the most awesome guy in the world. Super ego boosts here and there. Followed by isolating the victim, getting you away from a support system so that when the bomb comes, when that is revealed, usually there's an argument or some totally unexpected, devastating scenario that they create where they're threatening abandonment or punishment if you don't behave and it's your fault. Whatever that scenario, there's a zillion ways that that gets played out, and several ways it's been played out in my life. You can watch the I have a playlist, personal experiences, 3 different relationships. We all have different specifics, but when we're coming back to identifying what a game is, this is the pattern. Love bomb, isolate the victim, followed by the bomb part, which is revealing what they truly are and locking you in because you're already isolated. So for me, the 3 examples that I talk about in my personal experiences playlist, the first relationship, love bombing, he was a DJ at a radio station, and I called in for a particular, of all things, he was working at a love song radio station. So set up for romance, and so we ended up, I called, the station, and then he ended up talking to me, and so we talked all the time. Whenever he was working, we would be talking on the phone, and it was fast. It was very fast moving, sexual very quickly, and moving in together very quickly. And he did. I was already isolated from where I lived, and that bomb came, and I talk about it in I can't remember which video. Anyway, but he did bomb me probably about a month in, when I tried to exert some independence. And the bomb part worked. I was already an isolated person and thought I was just completely in love with him. So that was the first experience. Just a lot of time on the phone. A lot of time on the phone. And then moving in together quickly. The second relationship that I talk about, the first one was the overt narcissist. The second relationship, the covert narcissist, as I discussed, he was dating 2 of us at the same time, and I didn't know for 6 years. But our relationship started quickly, very quickly. In fact, we were, talking about being married, being betrothed, within the first 2 weeks. I bought my wedding dress in the first 2 weeks and had that in my closet for 6 years until we had gotten married. I had my wedding dress, so it was fast, and he, everything that I, discussed with him was exactly what he thought, and very conservative. By that time I was religious and very religiously conservative, and he agreed with everything verbally, It wasn't until after we were married that I found out what he was doing, and what he had done. So that's love bombing right there. Is, you think that you share the same views, but behind the scenes they're doing whatever the heck they want. So I didn't know, and like I said, the relationship moved quickly. The third relationship with the covert, overt narcissist, which was more recent, a couple years ago now, I do recall, once I was thinking about putting this video together, because I do more clearly remember the details of that relationship because it was more recent, I can clearly remember times when we should have broken up, when, certain core values were not the same, right? I mean, we'd be having conversations, as I mentioned in that covert, overt narcissist video. I'm of a Christian belief, he's Buddhist, and, I mean, we really don't have the same faith. So, which is perfectly fine as far as, people in a society, but within a relationship, there's some potential conflict there. And so we would talk about all kinds of things, and whatever it was, I can clearly remember, me pulling back and thinking, maybe he'll be a friend. And then he would come and turn around what he believed in. So I can't, certain things that we had talked about that I don't, want to give out the details of that. But clearly, I mean, even literally as we were walking along, like let's say we're walking along in the park and he says something and I think this is not going to work out, and I would let go of his hand and be thinking about it. And then he would come back and change his opinion. Okay, so that it's like, oh, I misunderstood, we are a good match. So that's part of that love bombing process too. Not just, there being behavior behind the scenes that you're unaware of, but that they are watching you and observing you and going to say what you want to hear, so that you do believe that this is, your soulmate and the perfect match for you. The reason it feels like the perfect match for you is because they are mirroring everything that you say. And that is just during that initial love bomb phase. It's just overwhelming. We are a match, we're a match, we're a match, because they are figuring out what it is that you're looking for, and you're convinced of that, and being isolated, so that by the time the bomb comes, you are totally convinced that you're a match, and so this is worth fighting for, and you should be together. And if there's any disruption in the relationship, it's my fault. We're a perfect match. Everything is the same. Even the things that we're different on, he still has that same, that balance and concern and compassion, and we're just it. It's just perfect. So anything that's not perfect is my fault. So I better fix it and get in line and behave, because, what am I going to do in the world without this person? Okay, so that's my experiences with love bombing. Of course, you're always welcome to, put your comments down in the comments section on the video. Hop over to my Facebook page, and you can send a message, or, check out some of the other stuff that we have. But love bombing, I don't know why it took me so long to put this video together. I think it's because, maybe just because people don't say it's a game. It is the first game that gets played on the abuse victim. So be aware of it. I have definitely, since I've learned a lot about these games, been able to extract myself from a dating situation, because I can recognize clearer that I'm being love bombed, so go ahead and work that out. If you are not sure if you were love bombed, just go down that kind of checklist. Was it fast? And do you remember how romantic it was in the beginning, but then an argument that happened later when the bomb came? later, after you were totally, totally in love with that covert, overt narcissist. I remember an argument happening maybe about 2 months into the relationship, and he was out of town. And I remember once I sat down to remember, I clearly recalled about 2 months in where there was an argument, and I have no idea what it was about now. I just remember it was totally devastating. I was totally confused. It was devastating because he was yelling at me. And like I said, he's a Buddhist, and I've said many times, you know, nobody would believe how argumentative and berating and demeaning he is, passive aggressive. So I was shocked, just like anyone else would have been shocked. And I remember laying down to pray about it that night because I was crying and everything. I was like, this is so weird. Why is he so upset about da-da-da? And he falsely accused me. You know, it was like, where did this guy come from? And I remember laying there, and before I could get to the point of praying, you know, or if you're meditating, whatever it is, before I could get my mind to that peaceful place to try to figure out what was going on, I was like, what do I feel? And I felt physically like he had just beat the shit out of me. I felt like I had been punched in the face, emotionally punched in the face, and run over by a train. And then the next day when I tried to talk to him about it, I said, that's what I feel like. I feel like you just emotionally punched me in the face. And then he yelled and berated me more and again, and I didn't get it. And then I broke up with him. And he texted and texted and texted, and at the time I wasn't consciously aware of the game. Love, bomb, love, and then the bomb. So I let it go like a week. We were broken up, and he's calling and texting and calling and texting. He was really a lot. And for about a week I didn't respond, and then I responded after a week like, you know, an idiot. And I got back together with him. And, you know, so it was kind of like, you know, my boundaries weren't in place yet. And my boundaries weren't in place yet. I'm going to say I'm an idiot, but you're not stupid. When someone is lying to you and has lied to you, you're not stupid. You cannot do anything about something if you don't know the truth, if you don't know what's going on. So I didn't know what's going on, which is really the purpose of this video, is to help you know that this is going on. If you think it's going on and you're feeling validated, recognize it. It is so hard when you're in that in love phase to see the truth. And so I did see enough of the truth to say, I don't know why this guy just totally falsely accused me, but he's out. And then he was so sweet after that, that I was like, okay, I'll give him a second chance. And he love bombed me again. It was good behavior, kind, whatever I wanted to hear, you know, for another, you know, month or so. So anyway, if you're seeing that pattern that I'm talking about, I have been through it, and it's painful, and number one, it's confusing because you are being lied to, and it is a game that narcissists play. So if you're starting to become aware of that game in your own life, I invite you to give a call to the National Domestic Violence Hotline number. I end all my videos with this number if you need to keep it secret. It is completely anonymous. They're not going to call you back. You might need to delete the phone call from your phone, but you can give them a call at 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-7233. They are there to help and give you resources and really help you through some of that emotional pain. So give them a call if you feel like you may be in an abusive relationship, and I just wish you much love in this recovery process. Thanks for watching.